Hello, and welcome to my new Let's Play series for a new game called Pyre. I'll be playing this on Steam on PC. This is by publisher and developer Supergiant Games. They are also responsible for Bastion and Transistor. Now, I have not played Transistor, but I have played Bastion, and it really is just this wonderful adventure, action RPG style game. So here, now I am recording this voice over after the fact, which is why I'll be speaking about things as though I already know what's going to happen, even though I am playing through it blind at first. And if I do happen to go look up any information to help me along the way, I'll be sure to note that during the playthroughs. There is a lot of text to read, so I'll be reading over that as best I can in character. And then I'll be commentating on the action sequences. But other than that, I won't be speaking too much because the music really is fantastic and the visuals are nice. So I'd like to, you'd like you to just be able to enjoy that as is. All right, and we've begun. Your days on the downside brought slow, lonesome agony. Now, as you lie yielding to the elements, something rumbles into view. Three shapes emerge, each clad in strange attire. Downside. A vast purgatory into which the Commonwealth casts its convicts and its enemies. None have been known to return from the Forsaken Land.
Vithalios.
Another piece of filth expelled from the Commonwealth. The Commonwealth, a proud country risen from the ashes of a fallen empire, home to a multitude of ethnic groups. Founded on principles of mercy and kinship, whose exact meanings evolved through many centuries. See, right on schedule. What'd I tell you? Masked something? Masked woman. You told us we would find someone alive. Someday! I said we find someone alive someday. Just not today, I guess. But don't be glum. You know I see you frowning underneath that mask. Looks like she's breathing. Looks like she's breathing. The masked wanderer presumes you are female. Interactive changes. I am male, so I'll change that to male. It seems he still is. And stand aside. I shall send him to a better place. He's a he? Can you people just tell? Hang on. Markings on his rags. I think he's one of them. But look at him. He is beyond our help. And we are beyond his. Broken, shaking, starving, probably diseased. Yeah, good luck with that there, chum. See you back at the wagon. Indeed. The day grows dim. You have at best an hour. Understood. I won't be long. After the others leave, the man turns toward you and begins unfastening his mask. Hello, my friend. Don't care who you are or what you did. None of that matters anymore. All of us. We're equal nothings here. You are parched, and he gives you drink. You ache, and he binds your wounds. You hunger, and he gives you food. Little by little, it helps. There. Turns out you're tougher than you look. Name's Hedwyn. Now, come on. Hedwyn. He is one of the three masked wanderers who found you clinging to life and the downside. You sense no ill intent as he helps you up and leads you to an old black wagon. Nothing like the stately vessels that paraded Commonwealth criminals through alabaster streets. Hedwyn beckons you to enter the black wagon. The weather-beaten wagon is as much a mess inside as out. You see the masked woman and the talkative creature taking stock of ancient-looking books. I'm back. And with a guest. She loosens the clasps on her mask. You may call me Jodariel. Jodariel. She is the most imposing of the three masked wanderers who found you clinging to life. And as for myself, the small one struggles with his mask. Jodariel soon assists him. Ow! That is to say, you may regard me by the name of Rookie Greentail. Rookie Greentail. He is the smallest, yet loudest, of the three masked wanderers who found you clinging to life. Such pleasantries out of the way, the horned woman then motions to the others. She glances at you sidelong as she speaks. Can he do it? Hope so. I haven't asked him yet. What? Then what are we waiting for? Hey, chum. Nice meeting you and all, but tell me something. You know how to read or what? He is asking if you are a reader. Reader, one who can derive meaning from text. Literacy has been prohibited for centuries. Those with knowledge of the old ways violate the law of the land. Admit it, over time you manage to learn something of the old ways, in spite of Commonwealth decree. Literacy is a serious crime. No one in his right mind would dare violate the law of the land or remain silent. Who you are and what you did to earn your sentence is no one's business but your own. I'm going to admit it. You confirm their suspicions. There's no use trying to hide it now. Well then, glory days! Because it just so happens my associates and I, we got ourselves some nice material here for someone just like you. Reader, you still live thanks to us. We ask for something modest in exchange. Open one of those books back there and tell us what it says. Sorry to put you on the spot like this, my friend. The exiles indicate the books in their possession. Let's have a look. Rickety ladder. It likely leads to the wagon centrifuge, judged by the gibbering creatures up there. Intricate sigil. A symbol of some sort is set in the wagon's floorboards. You cannot sense its purpose. Side door. Beyond lies the boundless downside. Even if you could run, you would not get far. Old raiments. Colorful robes and ceremonial masks adorn one of the wagon's walls. Odd creatures. Hungry-looking creatures roost near some sort of attic. There is nothing you can do for now. Strange book. One of several such heavy, ominous volumes. The exiles you meet seem very interested in them. You pick up one of the old and heavy volumes, bound in materials you do not recognize. You, dear reader, are an exile of the downside, such as we, the 8 who wrote the Book of Rites. That you possess it, and have capacity to clean its words, is testament enough to your potential. Though we reveal a path from the forsaken place to freedom, a homecoming in glory. The stars themselves shall be your guide. Ere the turning of the year's first solstice, seek the nearest longitude beneath the brightest of 8 as they align as shown. Arrive as a triumvirate, clad in the raiments of the rites, bearing the book. Alright, so what I did not know is that when you click inspect, you get a much easier to read version. Yes. The last line is, oblige the voice that tells you more. Forward, brief instructions on when and how to perform the rites. The book describes a complicated method through which exiles can return to the Commonwealth. Well, friend, what does it say? But then your vision starts to fade and blur. You feel your body weaken and give out.
Reader, dare you tamper with forbidden knowledge? So soon after your sentence into exile. 'Tis true what the book says. You can be free again. Perhaps not you yourself, but someone worthy of the privilege. You witness now the path toward salvation. You witness the rites, the one way to return to glory. Though in your case, I hardly think it possible. Yet, by the grace of the scribes, it is my duty to inform you anyhow.
So it is true.
Oh my.
Yeah, but what now? And where'd the reader go?
Veretusta.
We should be out there still. For now, we have to put our faith in him. He could abandon us. He won't. You look upon the three of them from beyond as Headwind then calls out to you. Reader! We aim to free ourselves. We will not grow old and die on the downside. And now, I swear to you, when we get out of here, you're going to come with us. But first we need your help. Show us the way! Freedom. You focus all your mental faculties to do as Headwind asked.
A celestial orb falls from the heavens when the time is nigh. Exiles conduct the rites as a triumvirate, for they must prove their trust in one another, not just in themselves. The three must act as one. Now plunge into the pyre with the orb and be purified. Yes, the exile rookie has the way of it. Whoever steps into the flame is banished for a time. His or her cohorts must make do on their own. Oh, but it is not so simple. In the rites you shall face adversaries whose own freedom is at stake. Beware the aura that surrounds them, and they shall beware yours. The aura is your wrongdoing. Accept it as a part of you. Cast your aura like a stone. Correctly done. Again. Just so. A glorious performance, I admit. More than I expected from the likes of you. Grasp the orb once more. The orb absorbs the aura, then the orb quenches the flame. Now I say jump. Leap with all your strength. Now snuff out adversary's pyre whilst yours yet burns.
Alright, so this is my first foray into playing through the rites ceremony, and I don't really know what I'm doing. Let's see, so I passed the orb, and then I just tossed it out into the middle of nothing because I didn't understand that yet. Now I'm wandering around with Jodariel, not sure what to do. Thankfully the tutorial rite is very kind.
The orb slips from your clutches.
And then I just banished myself. Nice.
Oh? Rookie doused to the adversary's flames. Somebody get the orb.
Okay, this is where I learned that when they hold the orb, I understood what it was meant, like when they hold the orb you can walk into them with your aura, you'll banish them that way. There, you can really notice the difference in the
Seize the orb.
size of the aura you can project by each of them. So it's not just their
Pyre sparks.
it's not just their movement, their actual their casting their aura forward makes a difference too. You know, so Jodariel has longer, much wider casting, and Headwind is a little narrower, and Rookie's is very narrow.
The rite is complete.
And somehow I managed
There,
to
dear reader.
complete that.
Now you understand. Or do you? This was but a glimpse of that which lies ahead. I would tell you to turn back, cast down your hope. But all those such as you never listen.
The others are still picking themselves up as you awaken. Well, that was something. That was our way out. So now we just follow the stars, or what? Supposedly. Reader, come, let us regard the night. Jodariel leads you outside, where a clear night sky awaits. Now, show us, before the howlers catch our scent, where shall the rites commence? You gaze at the stars. Seek out your destination. Goal of the South Star. The South Star burns bright over a massive ridge of stone, much farther than the naked eye can see. Dominion, the Olden Star. Star of the First Empress, those born under it see knowledge. So as you can see, the next star is fairly obvious. It is lit more so than others in the sky. It's not terribly difficult to find that. 200 leagues due east. The Ridge of Gold. Ridge of Gold. According to the stars, the next rite shall soon commence here. The fossil remains of the serpent Titan slain by Golathanian yet loom over those living in its shadow.
Consilia.
Great. And we're supposed to be there when exactly? Very soon, according to the stars. You should be able to arrive in time if you make haste. Then we had best get started. Well, this ought to be good for a few laps at least. What do you say, Jody? Jodario turns to you, studying you. Reader, do not deceive us. Pray we make good use of our remaining time. What you means is, glad to have you aboard, chum. We're counting on you, my friend. See you inside. Freedom. The rites are the key. It is a lot to take in. The rites an ancient ritual, competition through which the worthiest exiles regain their freedom. The 8 scribes gave their freedom so that we may yet have ours. Your fellow exiles await you in the wagon. You arrive in Downside Prairie, where the road ahead is forked. There is a lack of consensus about which way to proceed. The prairie is one of the Downside's only verdant regions. It only gets less hospitable as you press further north. I'm telling you, we ought to take the northern pass. Got an associate holed up in Hollowroot. I've got to pay a visit to, besides. Hollowroot, the northern route to the Ridge of Gold, goes through a small exile encampment. Every so often, tempests come and scour away the huts and hovels, but they always crop back up. Fie on your associate. Best we head to Blooming Pool and avoid attention. Blooming Pool. The southern route to the Ridge of Gold goes through a humid area pocked with hot springs. Runoff from the sand folds means no bathing in the springs, so they're just there to mock you. And get stuck in a bog while we're at it. The dispute continues as Headwind listens for a while. What if the reader settled this? He marks the way, we get us there. If these rites are meant to test our faith, then we best learn to trust the reader's instincts on our path. No second guessing him along the way. Can we all live for that for now? Can we all live with that for now? Yeah, sure. If necessary. Then it's settled. Just point the way, my friend. The stars guide us through you. You may now choose a route toward your goal at certain junctures. We go to Hollowroot. The northern route to the Ridge of Gold goes through a small exile encampment. Ruki knows someone here who owes him. Blooming Pool is the southern route to the Ridge of Gold that goes through a humid area packed with hot springs. Jodario thinks she can find rare flora here. Yeah, I kind of like that idea, so I chose the hot springs. Jodario offers to show you around Blooming Pool after she notices you staring at the bogs and vegetation near the wagon. Soon, something catches her eye. Observe. This shall pay for half our trip. You found a black bloom. It is quite valuable. Black bloom, trade item, value 30. This can be sold at the select market. Blossoms at specific times, while bitter at first, the taste of the black bloom makes the pain go away. The black wagon grinds to a stop at the base of the Ridge of Gold. The others ask you to assist with making preparations for nightfall and the commencement of the rite. And the exit. Let's have a look around at some of the items here. Jodariel seems to have something on her mind. Reader. Greentail here was just complaining how you opted not to take us up to Hollow Root. What? And violate our anti-second guessing pact? Nah, I was only saying how our chum's gonna have to keep on making the tough calls. Besides, just making sure we got something to pawn off at the next slug market we find. The slug market is a crude trading post found on the downside. Commonwealth contraband sometimes finds its way to the downside where it is traded and sold. And we have. Now let us focus on the task at hand. We have reached our destination and have much left to prepare for before tonight. The two of them soon go about rummaging through the raiments and the books strewn about the wagon, leaving you to your own devices. Jody's throw rug, fashioned from a howler's hide, sends their ilk a clear message. Jodariel says not to step on it. Jodariel's status nearby. What's this? Greentail family portrait. A reasonable likeness of a younger Rookie with his mother and uncle. He's also nearby. Again, Jody's throw rug. Book of Rights. It seems to be sparkling. New pages. Inspect them. The first exile, in the words of Galafanian, the Master General. You know perhaps the thrice cursed name of Solium Mur, the Emperor of Sar, the first exile, and my liege. This chapter concerns him and those who found him in the downside. Each of us was sent to take his life, such was the hatred for him in and around his country. Yet we found in Solium Mur a man transformed, in body, mind, and spirit. A man deserving of much more than mercy. In time he named us all his scribes, and he became the eighth. It is my greatest honor now to share with you his deeds. To know his story is to know the rights. Attic ladder. You observe the ladder leading to the locked enclosure above the cabin. The wagon's centrifuge must be up there. Its drive imps stared down at you with big, wet eyes. Curious centrifuge drive imps. I'm very interested to know more about that. Alright, commence the rite. You've reached the celestial landmark, now to get everyone and everything prepared. As darkness falls, your fellow exiles stand together, clad in the raiments of the rites. The preparations are set. However, everything is still in calm. Soon, they grow restless. Keep telling you there's nothing here! What a bunch of idiots we are. If we traveled all this way for nothing. I don't think we did. Look up.
Freedom! The stars align at last. You reach the Ridge of Gaul at the appointed time, and your triumvirate is ready. Your adversaries in the rites this eve shall be the accusers. Whose ever pyre yet burns once the other is extinguished shall step closer to freedom. Now let the rites commence.
The stars are aligned, and your pyre burns bright. Across from your companions appear several others clad in raiments, or adversaries in the rites. Everyone ready? Let's hope so. Be still. We have a visitor. The one whom she refers to steps forward. At last, the Nightwings grace us with their presence. The Nightwings, the name of a triumvirate in blue. It seems your fellow exiles have assumed their identity. Curious? I see that the reports of your demise have been exaggerated after all. Even I was beginning to think you were gone for good. Nobody moves, save for the man robed in gold, who unfastens his mask.
Die ganze Schnall.
Surprised to see old Lendl again? I trust you remember my face, though you must have assumed never to see it again after the last time. Lendl. He is the apparent leader of the exiled triumvirate you encountered at the Bridge of Gold. Never had I come so close to freedom, only for you to dash my hopes. Now, I and the accusers shall repay that affront. The accusers, an exiled triumvirate clad in gold. Their leader harbors ill will for something he thinks you did. He shoves his mask back on and takes position with his comrades. It is time. From the shadows you clutch the Book of Rites and focus on the task at hand.
Begin!
Alright, we have our first real trial here. Okay, we have Headwind moving in behind some. Oh, and we banish that guy with the our aura. Rookie has the sphere. Moving in, running, jumps, and hits the Pyre for 15. Alright, a few easy points, but we got a long way to go. Headwind coming in to grab the orb. Nice, passes back to the Dardario. I don't know why I did. Couple more passings as I try to figure out the controls. Randomly toss the Celestial Sphere back towards the Pyre. Artfully dodge the aura behind some terrain. And the whole team is wiped.
Lendl snuffed out some of your flame.
Lendl runs it in for 20.
Your pyre shall soon be ashes on the ground. Such chaos.
Actually, I think the in-game narrator is better than I am. I'll just kind of poke in every now and then and let him run the show.
All of the accusers gone. Glory to the scribes.
Yes, Rookie takes advantage of that breakaway. No, I shall not accept defeat from you again. Hear me, accusers. Stand your ground. Let your auras boil in rage.
It seems that you have flustered the accusers.
We're getting there, but they've hunkered down. Fine. Then we shall disrupt their formation.
Have you any idea what that Lendl did to deserve his exile? A daring display. Flinging the orb into the flames like that. You elude banishment using such tricks.
Oh, and do not move Headwind in time. Ouch. Rookie outguns the opposition. Oh.
There.
We run in. Nice. Well done, Rookie.
Poor Joe Dario.
Right, nice jump by the opposition. Left it open. And there we go. Nice.
The rite has nearly ended.
Oh,
Rookie plunged into their fire.
nearly there. Well done, Rookie.
Ta-ta, Lendl.
Ta-ta, Lendl.
And it is done.
That does it.
You have prevailed. Rejoice then in your single fleeting victory. Guron Salashe.
Your deceit may have earned you a hollow victory, but know this. The accusers will not forget your wickedness, and when next we meet, you will rue the day. What did the Nightwings do?
In the wisdom of the scribes.
Okay, so see, your characters actually level up, kind of like an RPG.
Only the enlightened can
I've withstood worse nights than this, though few is strange. So they level up, and then there are skills to choose that will enhance their abilities. So far, everyone seems to have two categories. Category 1, Sins of the Fallen Emperor. Rights Masteries, enhancing a demon's strength and physical prowess. When he fell into the downside, Solium Mur understood at last the consequences of his hedonistic sign. Boons of the First Exile. Rights Masteries, enhancing a demon's spirit and sheer force of will. The Fallen Emperor Mur moved past his many failings as a man, achieving selflessness in exile. Relentless Vigor. After banishing an adversary, Todaro instantly recovers all her stamina. Solium Mur relinquished comfort, lineage, and title. Long Stride. After using her rush to lunge forward, Todaro can rush again right away. Mur's more ambitious predecessors subsumed one culture after another in the name of their empire. I had some trouble choosing so early because I hadn't really developed a sense of style yet, so I went with that one. And she was the only Nightwing to level up this time. After the rites, the accusers disappear into the darkness. As you return to the wagon, in the still night sky you see a single star burns brighter than the rest, beckoning you onward. During the rites, hold B to fling the orb. The longer you charge, the more pyre damage you deal if the orb flies true. That's interesting. Well, my friends, what can I say? The rites are real. And we're in. The Getting Out of Here Club! Next up on the agenda, keep chasing stars until we're free! Until we are free. Until we're free. Hear, hear! Sounds fine. Might as well be us instead of Lendl back there. Anyway, I guess we better start packing. As the others go... Reader, come with me, while the stars are still out. You and Hedwyn walk in silence for a time before he speaks up. You have questions. Come, ask away. We need you in on this for the long haul. Hedwyn wishes to know if anything is troubling you. Ask why he was exiled. Ask how he got his wagon. Ask why you cannot conduct the rite yourself, or ask what happens if you refuse to help. Everyone has their reasons. At this point, you would like to know his. You led your fellow exiles of the rites, yet they have not asked you to participate. Why? You're beginning to get the impression that your participation is not optional. That is interesting, yeah. I'd like to know about the wagon, though. You ask Kevin how he and his companions managed to come into possession of this black wagon and what happened to its former owners. He maintains eye contact in his smile. Good question, my friend. We're going to have a lot of time to discuss that, and many other things. Make you a deal. Read the stars for us again, and I'll tell you all about it on the way. You sense he speaks truly as he beckons toward the fading dark above. You gaze at the stars. Jumur, the dusk star. The dust star burns bright over an ancient spring in Jomur Valley. That's a long way north and west. We'll see if this old wagon's fit for it. Then he turns to the others. How's it going, Rookie? Him's fed. Wheels clean. Status, Jody? No sign of howlers. Everything is secure. Good. Can we get some rest? We're headed to the Spring of Jomur at Donmar. Spring of Jomur. According to the stars, the next rite shall soon commence here. The Alpha Chief hoped bathing here would cure his ailments, but it only made him itch. Lone minstrel. A figure sits very still in the corner of the wagon. You observe the man slumped in the corner of the wagon, bearing some sort of stringed instrument. You sense he lives, but nothing more. It seems inopportune to ask about him now. Okay. Jodariel seems to have something on her mind. You sense Jodariel's steel gaze well before you turn to her. Reader, rummaging about the wagon once again. Tell me something now that you are here. Look at me. Are you afraid of me? You consider the question. You have never before met someone like her, but do know something of what happens to those who remain in the downside for many years. Jodariel wishes to know if you fear her. Admit she can be a bit intense. Deny feeling that way or say nothing. We're going to deny feeling that way. You tell her that although you do not yet know each other well, you do not fear her, and on the contrary feel safer in her presence. Truly. In that case, I have much work left to do. You shall fear me yet, if you survive this place. Now then, I shall go make my rounds. She walks away. You feel the floor of the wagon shake with her step. Jodariel gained +1 hope for the next rite. Aw. Hope. This attribute affects duration of banishment. One's capacity to see the light in things. Aw. That's cool. Just have a little look around here. See if there's anything else to click on. Headwind's cooking tins. It passes for cooking supplies on the downside. Headwind does most of the cooking. Nightwings sigil. So, quick look at this again. I don't think there's anything new to see, but I'm gonna have a look. No. Okay. It's probably likely that there's something new, specifically only when it has that sparkle about it. Nobody likes it. Okay. Alright, that is going to about do it for this episode. I'm sure continuing our journey will lead to another match and probably a lot of dialogue and travel options, so we're going to stop there. It's a very interesting story so far. I'm super curious as to who the Nightwings really were, because the current group seems to be the Nightwings and yet not the Nightwings. It's very interesting. So that was super fun, very different, and again, super fun. Thanks for watching, and join me next time. Take care.